God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
Good Tuesday afternoon, and welcome to another broadcast of the QSR Tuesday Night Thunder Truck Series. Today we have a spectacular race lined up for you today, hosted by Performance Diesel Injection. PDI is your one-stop shop for all of your diesel injection needs. We repair exchange pumps, injectors, and turbochargers. At PDI we specialize in all of the leading brands for diesel pumps and fuel injection systems. We also carry engine overhaul kits from Interstate McBee, MaxiForce, and many others. Based out of Eastern Georgia, Performance Diesel Injection is able to receive and ship parts nationwide. Today we are here at Iowa with the PDI 105. Iowa Speedway in Newton, Iowa, 0.85 miles around, 4 corners, D oval. Today we have myself covering for your normal host of Morgan Cook. Alongside me today, Matt Gagnon. We have Mike Petrin up in the race control for this race this afternoon, and we are set for a good one tonight. Race analysis coming up on the screen. Tonight will be 120 laps or 105 miles, as some people would like to say. Pit road speed of 35 miles per hour. 3 tire sets available today, 2 green-white checkered attempts, and 100% fuel with the iRacing fixed setup. We have race number 4 out of 14 here, so Charlotte coming up next, followed by Auto Club Speedway. But again tonight, we're here at Iowa, in the middle of the cornfields. Matt, it's your first time up here in the booth for the Tuesday Night Thunder Series, myself included, both of us, like I said, covering for Morgan Cook. I know that you've done a little bit of research, watched back on some old broadcasts and such. How are you feeling about it, man? Like, what's on your research? What were you finding with these guys? How are they looking?
Well, let me tell you, I'm very excited to see a battle between Jalen Handcamp and Jaden Dietrich, your two points leaders right now, respectively, first and second. These two drivers are very competitive, and I'm looking forward to a very interesting race, to say. Iowa, it's an interesting short track, to say the least. Some people love it, some people hate it. Me, not so much, but I'm looking forward to whatever this track may bring us tonight here, Logan.
Likewise, buddy. It's going to be a good one for sure. And, we've got plenty of time here on the track, but we are about to start taking grid here. But points on the screen. Jalen Handcamp coming in with a 2-point lead at the moment. This is all after Michigan. Caden Dieterich, Dirk Likes, Daniel Molnix, Marty Phillips, Jesse Gordon, Ryan Philbrick, Brent Allen, Carter Lenz, and Quentin Stewart will be your top 10 in the points going into today. Excited to see where everybody comes out of this at, so we should be quite a hectic race, I would say. I mean, it's such a short track. There's going to be so much going on at all times throughout this race, so it'll be really cool to see where it goes from here and just kind of see what happens. That's all the fun of it. Just hanging out and seeing exactly what happens. But we'll get down here, take a look at what we've got going on the grid. Get this pulled up here. On your front row, Jalen Handcamp, your points leader going into tonight, taking the pole with a 23.267. Next to him will be Jesse Gordon in the 10 car. Second row, Galen Wunsch in the 199, next to Kevin West. Quentin Stewart will start out in 5th, next to Derek McMurchie. Daniel Molnix in the 2 will be in the 7th position, next to Christian Ruckriegel. Carter Lenz in the 26th, and Brent Allen in the 13 will round out your top 10.
Making up row number 6, we have Ryan Philbrick in the 06, followed by Tristan Pena in the 55 machine. Row number 7, looking at Trey Horton and John Briel. Right behind them, Stephen McGough and Kyle Peacock in the 40 machine. Points leader, Caden Dietrich and Dirk Likes, 17th and 18th, respectively. Rounding out your top 20 will be Jason Foskey and Ethan Wisnowski.
21st position will go to Ace Dillard in the 37, next to Austin Thomas. Tyler Willard will take 23rd, next to Patrick McPeak. Jacob Reeves will be in 25th with Gerald Sensabaugh, I believe is how that's pronounced. Hopefully. 27th, right. Frank Walsh, next to Vincent Cacciatore. Max Cost in the 63, and Marty Phillips in the 50. Behind them
rounding out your field will be Brandon Yates and Ronnie L. Joyner. We get the cars rolling out on track. Looking forward to a spectacular Tuesday night of racing, are we not here, Logan?
We absolutely are. It's going to be a fantastic time. We're going to roll through the rest of the grid here. Not a whole lot left, but we are about set to go green. They're going to come around one more time. Take a look at this field. It's probably one of the biggest ones they've had all season. I know the admins here were definitely excited to see a good turnout. 35 cars on the track tonight. They were hoping for 40, but 35 will do.
One thing to watch out for these big fields on these short tracks. It's one word. It's one word here, Logan. Chaos. Watch out. You're going to see drivers going in the corners, bumping each other. Watch out, especially out of 4. These drivers pushing for as much as they can take. You're going to see some carnage here.
It's almost bound to happen, and you know, a lot of race cars are going to have their nights ended at some point just because of how small this track is compared to so many others. But we're just about set. As they're exiting turn 4, they will be entering that Geico starting zone, and the first go will be on the flagman as they are now green, going. I for some reason have lost my sound, which is not a great start to this.
One car around, the 10 car. Watch out.
Already carnage in the backfield here as we are already on caution number 1.
I didn't get to see much of it, but I saw one car exiting out of 2, lost it, collected a whole bunch of drivers, and unfortunately ending a lot of days here early on in this race.
That we have, and I'm going to send this to just a quick break here, figure out what's going on with my sound. We'll take a look at that replay right as we come back.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
All right, we've figured out the sound issues for now. I've sent this back to the start of this race. We're going to take a look at what just happened here. I know I saw the 10 car spin around at one point during this, so we're going to focus on him, see if we can...
Oh,
He just got loose. Got loose, came up back the track. Oh, 13, this 06. Lots of cars collected already in turn number 1. Not a whole lot of damage, but enough to really put a damper on some of these guys' races here.
I think it was just a little pre-race nerves showing up there for the 10 car of, I believe that's Jesse Gordon. Maybe just wanted to push as hard as he can. Yes, it's a little early for it, but hopefully now this will settle out and we'll get some green flag racing in here shortly.
Fingers crossed, as we're already 4 laps deep. Obviously that caution happening on lap number 1 there. But still a lot of racing left. You know, we got an opportunity to see quite a few of these guys make a comeback here and just see exactly what they can do, you know. So, should be coming around to 1 to go this time by. But we called it early. We knew that there was going to be carnage. Just didn't quite think that it was going to be this early.
I'd like to point out one big mover very early on, 40 truck Kyle Peacock. He started up in the 8th row, 16th. He's now sitting 9th. Very good move early on, capitalizing on other drivers' mistakes like that wreck we just saw. Maybe we can see a little bit more moving forward.
Man, I will have to say, Matt, the most recent update, I know they've done some work on the paint schemes, and specifically that chrome texture that you see there on the 83.
Ooh.
Granted, he should be on here as the 40, but we're showing the 83. We'll pull the ticker up just so you guys can, I can prove my point that I'm not crazy. Kyle Peacock's currently scored in 9th as the 40, but 83 on screen. So keep that in mind as we go on through the rest of this race, and just keep an eye out as the lights on the pace truck are now out. We'll see everybody double file here. And this time around, we will be starting back up. Good to go. see if they can put a green flag run together, and hopefully I can keep my sound going for all you folks at home. It's, again, not a great start.
Wonders of technology there, Logan. Isn't it fascinating?
It's always a fun time over here with production issues, but we take it with the we roll with the punches. That's how we'll state that.
It's not about getting knocked down. It's about getting back up after you getting knocked down, and we have a lot of drivers in that same kind of predicament here.
That we do, and surely we'll see a couple of them make their way back out onto the track. I know there's a couple currently on pit road, probably getting some sort of, and there goes my sound again, as they are green flag racing. Jalen Handcamp taking a huge leap out.
Bunch of drivers side by side coming out of 2, 1 set, 3 wide. Kyle Peacock in the middle of the 78 and 24.
Rewind.
Move on down the front stretch. Loose. 55 around. Tristan Pena. Rough start to this race as well. Only on the second restart. Let's take a look at what happened. He's coming out of 2. This is going to be blinking. Bottom 3 wide.
Like maybe a little bit of contact there, but
maybe just a little bit, but I think he got that 3 wide call and he was just a little nervous, didn't want to go up too far. Maybe gas it up a little early there. I don't know. We don't have this SMT data right here to prove or disprove anything. We only have visual-based assumptions.
all right, Matt, I am going to send this right back to the QSR video here. Try to do some deeper diving into why I keep losing my sound. So I will be right back, folks. Try to get some technical help up in here.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
All right, folks, I believe we are back live here. Hopefully, apologize for that. Internet just decided it didn't want to internet anymore. So hopefully this picks right back up where we left off. Unfortunately, behind the scenes technical difficulties does not allow me to display what lap we're currently on. Having issues now with the ticker itself, but Matt and I will do our best to keep you updated for the lap count, as we're getting ready to come back around to go green once again. Jalen Handcamp still in the lead. Galen Wunchin second. Daniel Molnick's fourth. Carter Lenz, Caden Dietrich will be your top 5.
Just as a quick update to see what you guys just missed. third caution right now involving Quentin Stewart, CJ Gates out of the mix right now. No real details on what happened. Lap 16 going on 17, moving through the Geico restart zone. Green flag back in the air.
Once again, the sound is down, so this is not a fun time over here whatsoever. I do highly apologize to everybody watching. We will likely end up recording this and doing a voiceover later on.
Two drivers side by side. Milnick taking the third spot away to move down into 1 and 2. Diederik and Carter Lynn's fighting it out for 5th. We will have another caution. See the root cause of this. Because we have some issues with the 21 Tyler Willard. It's moving slowly down the back straightaway. So we look to the replay, see what happened. Just like we saw on lap number 1. Drivers just getting loose, pushing way too aggressively, bringing out cautions early on here in this race.
Really wish I could figure out this the sound issue, Matt. This is not fun for anybody involved.
And as Logan said, we do apologize for the issues. Technology is a vast landscape. We even itself doesn't even understand, and we will try our best to get this fixed for you guys watching at home. Until then, we have but trucks to watch. So we are here currently lap number 20 of 120 here at the PDI 105. Looks to be a pretty interesting race. Not very many long green flag runs here so far, but hopefully survival of the fittest here will take place and we will see drivers emerge. We have a long ways to go here. Officially across the line now, 100 laps to go. This is the man, Jalen Handcamp. He's led every single one of them. He started on pole, of course. He's looking to do what he did at the Glen a few weeks ago. Start on pole, lead every single lap he can, purely dominate. This is why he's leading the points right now. He's currently a very, very smart driver. Quick driver, in fact. We will...
I've got some insight as for something to try here. So again, one more time, I'm going to send it to the waiting screen this time and see if we can figure this out. Fingers crossed. We'll be back. All right, folks, we'll give this one more go as we are under another caution. This is not the same one. We did just have a rather large pile up. Matt, walk us through that one. Who'd we have involved here? I was busy doing settings.
So we had a little bit of a side-by-side battle off the restart, exiting 1 and 2. On the exit of 2, we had a side-by-side with Daniel Molnick and the 199 of Galen Wunsch. It appears that Wunsch got sideways and collected the 2. Two very fast drivers. We saw them up front all day. And unfortunately, it's going to put multiple drivers laps down. This is what we've talked about earlier. This is what we've expected here out of a short track like Iowa. Nothing but the unexpected here, Logan.
Yeah, absolutely. From production to racing, it's all been completely unexpected. And I absolutely hate this for everybody trying to watch. I appreciate you all bearing with me here, but it's hopefully got some things changed around and maybe be able to do this properly. We shall see.
One can only hope. I can keep making up technology puns, but I think I better stow them away in the cloud or something like that, you know? But racing-wise, Handcamp's still in the lead. Caden Diedrich, he's sat second right now, working his way back up from 17th on the grid. We're about to see a points battle unfold here at Iowa right before our very eyes. These two of what I'm going to say are the fastest drivers. Now a window to shift things early on in the points lead. Driver we mentioned earlier behind on the second row outside lane. Kyle Peacock still up from 16th. He's starting 4th. Another notable mover to be mentioned here, Patrick McPeak, 24th, now sitting 8th. Good run for some drivers here as the carnage unfolds. Really shows that racing here at Iowa is more like high-speed checkers, or chess rather. Can't speak. We're about to see the pace truck pull off. Drivers racked up, stacked up, 2 by 2. Green flag in the air again at Iowa.
Jalen Handcamp with yet another fantastic launch off of that restart. Right out to putting a gap on Caden Diedrich in the 0-2-4.
Look at Trey Horton sitting 3rd, falling back a little bit to Kyle Peacock. He's trying to take things around the outside here, making a challenge for the podium position here. He's cleared him off in the 3, and now he wants silver.
Still very early, but, you know, it's all about track position here. Stay out of the big pack. As we're back here, a couple rows back in the 10th position. Quite a few cars that are still 2 by 2. See if any of them can make that move as the 55, Tristan Pena. Having a little bit of internet issues. It's not just myself, thankfully. Tristan Pena sitting currently in 9th. As we're starting to see the rest of the pack starting to file out here a little bit. I say as
back
we
a few more rows. More side-by-side action. The 50 and the 37, Marty Phillips fighting out side-by-side. We're going to have to see, slight move from the 5 behind. Keep it going straight here, Logan.
That's all you got to do at a track like this. Just keep turning laps as long as you can. Whoever can do it the longest will be inevitably the winner. Keep taking a look back through the field here. Just about single filed out all the way through. Not quite there just yet. Got Derek McMurtry in the 48, currently battling with the 37 of Ace Dillard. Side by side here. Almost contact between the two.
Little bit of hard racing here at a short track. Move them on down the front straightaway into 1. Watch out for that 06. He's still trying to make that move on the 29 out of 2. He's just going to inch ahead barely. He's going to clear him and take it into 3.
The 06 driver Ryan Philbrick currently sitting in 11th after that. Looking to make a move on the 55 here shortly as they go into turn 1. He's going to get on the low side of him. Is he going to have enough to beat him down the back stretch? Still side by side.
Watch out for that 48 machine, Derek McMurchie. He's trying to find a door, walk straight through it. These drivers are going to make a mistake here. Just like a lot of these drivers today. People around him making mistakes. They want to capitalize on it, rather. So you see a bunch of drivers stacked up behind him. Almost 3 wide for a second there.
Just about. Drivers involved here. We've got the 83 of Stephen Mago. The actual 83, not the 83 on track, but scored as the 40 Kyle Peacock. So keep that in mind once again. 55 Tristan Pena falling back slowly here. Was just up in 9th, now back in 14th after all this battling's been going down. The 24 behind him of Ronnie Joyner. Battling with Ace Dillard, also back a couple spots. So a lot of movement here in the middle of the pack, not a lot up towards the front. Jalen Handcamp with a commanding 1 second lead at such a short track is huge for him. He's got all of the clean air on the front end of that truck that he could ever want. Hayden Diedrich right behind him. Kyle Peacock still holding strong at 3rd with almost a full second on the 4th place of Dirk Likes. I apologize, Dirk. All the action seems to be back here, battling for the 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th position. As we're just about 3 wide, we might see a 3 wide going into turn 3 and 4 up here. Keep your eye
out for that
on
37
this battle.
Stuck in the middle there. Oh, the 01's looking to make a move down in the 3. Trying to hold it down on the low line of the 24. On exit. Under fire from Pena on the outside. Move him off in the 1 here, Logan.
On board here with the 13 of Brent Allen. Right behind all of this action. We'll see what it looks like as they are just hammering away at each other. Trying to gain every little bit of positioning that they can.
One thing I would like to bring up, as we've been mentioning today, sim stamp numbers and custom numbers. The 24 marked on track of Jason Foskey, sim-wise is and scoring-wise is the number 29. The real 24, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Ignore that.
I was just going to let you go. I thought you had an angle there that I wasn't seeing, but as far as I know, Kyle Peacock is the only one with the incorrect number on track.
Nothing but issues tonight here, Logan, but it's all right. We recover.
Hey, everything seems to have smoothed itself out, thankfully. Hopefully we can finish this out under green flag circumstances whenever it comes to the production side. We'll see how she goes here. Back up towards the front, we got Patrick McPeak in the 61. He's looking to make a move into the top 5 there on the 10 of Jesse Gordon. Trey Horton right behind him, though. He's not going to let him get away easily. Trey is going to look on the inside. Lap after lap. It's just going to tick away as much as he can.
A lot of praise here for McPeak. Starting 24th, as I mentioned earlier, he's now fighting for a top 5 position. Back to what I mentioned again about high-speed chess. He is probably one of the chess masters here right now, showing up, avoiding all this chaos, these wrecks, proving that most of what you need right now is just play smart. And if you can be smarter than anyone else, you can run pretty solid here at Iowa.
You absolutely can, and it's always interesting to see how people handle these shorter tracks versus, the cookie cutter mile and a halves and the super speedways. So it's always a fun time in situations like this where you kind of take drivers out of their natural elements and see what they can do somewhere else.
Don't know if you saw it on the broadcast or not, but Dirk Likes very, very loose off of 4, managed to save it watch him here again. Manages to hold on to it. Just thought it was a nice save by the driver.
That's one thing that you'll see in these longer runs. Our top 9 drivers here still out off of the first pit stop, which actually would have been the start of the race. I apologize. We've got a couple guys through the field with slightly different strategies. Looks like a couple of them stopped on one of those cautions we had earlier in the race, but now we've got a nice green flag run here going. Lap 47 out of 120 tonight. It's going by quick, Matt.
Very much so. We're running about mid 20-second laps here. Good to have a decent amount of laps underneath those. But it proves to be some pretty solid racing here. I'm happy to see more of it as we're coming up close on the halfway mark. Logan, if you're a crew chief here, what are you thinking for your driver, strategy-wise?
You know, I think the tires are going to be the biggest factor here. Obviously, we've got a mixture of different lines being ran. The low line seems to be very set up for a good tight grip corner, where that high line, you might get a little bit more exit speed, but you are going to wear your tires down just a bit faster. It won't be much, but it's all going to come down to tire management. You know, once these drivers start coming in 4 tires, we'll see exactly how that plays out later on, but we still have a few laps before that really starts to make itself relevant. Back up front here with Caden Diedrich in the 2nd position. You see Kyle Peacock back there. He's slowly closing that gap, but they are not able to close the gap on Jalen Handcamp as he is out over a 1.5 seconds now on 2nd place, coming up on our first lapped car that is still racing. Daniel Molnick's in the 2, caught up earlier in an incident. Obviously had some repairs. He spent almost 5 minutes in the box getting stuff repaired on that 2 truck, but he's sticking it out. He's going to see just how long he can go in this race. But Jalen Handcamp now facing his first time around with dirty air on the nose of that 9. But he seems to be handling it well. What do you say, Matt?
Oh, no, he does. He just pulled out another 2/10 from Diedrich. You know, you mentioned the dirty air here. It's an enemy to all drivers. But still, Jalen Handcamp, he's something else. He knows how to get it done here. He knows how to adapt his line, manage his throttle inputs, brake inputs, avoid the negative impacts of the dirty air, as he just pulled out another 2/10 just about from Diedrich this past lap.
Looks like Diedrich might have had a little bit of an issue as Kyle Peacock also closed the gap on the 2nd place position quite a bit, but we have quite the battle back here for the 12th position. Steve Nago, Kevin West, Brent Allen, all back here within about a 1/10 of each other. 1/10 to 2/10.
Notice the damage on the 01 involved in a wreck earlier. Not very good aerodynamically, but he's still pulling off pretty solidly. Obviously not where he wants to be. He started 4th, and he's now back here, top 15. But at this point in the race, with the damage you have, this is what you're going to have to settle for.
And that's the beauty of short track racing. The aerodynamics don't come into play as much as it would at a 1.5 miles or even worse, the super speedways. So he should be able to do all right. He just needs to gain some track position now. He's currently sitting in 13th. That is Kevin West in the 01 there. A little bit further back, Ace Dillard in the 37. He's trying to catch up to the back of the 29. Behind him, John Breel, a little bit further back, as we're just about evenly spread out. A couple battles through the field, but not a whole lot going on at the moment. Right now we've got the 06, the 50, and the 48. Apologize, the 61, the 50, and the 06 in frame here. All battling for that 8th position, 7th position.
Tight battle here out of 2. Number 50, Marty Phillips. I'm going to keep mentioning it because this is a very impressive move here. Started 30th And he's up in a top 10 spot fighting for that 7th position held by McPeak. He wants it. He wants it bad. But now might not be the best time when we think about coming into your pit stall pretty soon.
Absolutely, as some of these drivers are coming up on lap 60 on these tires and this tank of Sunoco fuel here. So it's just about time to start seeing some of these guys coming in, as we do have the 10 car, Jesse Gordon. He made his way around Kyle Peacock, and he is now sitting in third, looking to take away second, and he is going to get it for the time being, but the 24 should have a better run off the top line there. Doesn't quite get back side to side with him. Looks like the 10 of Jesse Gordon is going to momentarily take away second place.
Reason right past them, but for how long? Watch out, the 024 trying to take it on the bottom of 1 and 2. Looks like Jesse Gordon's going to roll the top side pretty smoothly, and he's going to start to pull away from Dieterich. Now going under fire from Peacock as he's going to search for the low line in the 3.
All 3 of these drivers here really just want to make sure that they can get a podium, as it looks like Jalen Handcamp is going to possibly run away with this. Over a 3-second gap now to second place. Not a whole lot going on for him at the moment way up there, but all this battling going on for second, third, and fourth position as cars are closing the gap behind them. Dirk Likes, Trey Horton, they're
Deep
hunting.
lunge. Very deep lunge in the 3 for the 78 machine. Very much killed the momentum he had down the front straightaway, and Dirk Likes is going to start to peel away a little bit. Watch out for this side-by-side battle just briefly between Dieterich and Peacock.
A little bit further back here, we've got the 06 and the 61. The 06 looking to the inside. He's going to have the position, but will the 61 have the better run? He's back side by side. The nose is going to get just out in front, but he's on that high line. The high line in turn 1 and 2 is not working at the moment, in my opinion. As the 06 will be able to step up in front of the 61. He won't have a whole lot of room to come down, as the 48 there is low on him. 06 makes that pass very cleanly. Ryan Philbrick there. The 61 of Patrick McPeak. 48 of Derek McMurchie. Back up front here to the 3rd, 4th, and 5th battle here. Kyle Peacock. Dirk Likes. Trey Horton. Blow for blow. Lap after lap.
Watch him going down the front straightaway here. See what the 83 can do. He can play it both physically and aerodynamically, blocking these 2 drivers. He elects to take the middle while the 2 spread out evenly amongst the very top and the very bottom, but the 3 is going to get a nice run into 3. Watch out for the 78. Trying to stick it on the bottom, moving down the front straightaway.
Got a couple drivers coming down pit road, it seems. Might be time for some fresh tires. Maybe looking for the undercut here. Is Jalen Handcamp still out there? Our top 9 drivers on the longest stints on the field. A couple drivers back behind him on the same stint, but way further back there. Derek McMurchie is the top driver on the freshest tires. Compared to the other 9, he is currently sitting in the 10th position in that 48. We still just... this battle up here. They finally caught back up to the 24. Kyle Peacock will be looking to make a move on him, and I'm sure that Dirk Likes will be looking to follow. As Dirk Likes is going to get a little loose coming through on the start-finish line. Collects it, though, as they are technically 3 wide at the moment, even though they are so spread out. That 50 of Marty Phillips on the low side. The 78 of Trey Horton, middle. The 3 of Dirk Likes on the high side.
78 leaving a lot of room for the top of the 3. Ooh, are we about to see 4 wide here? The 83's slowed up a little bit. Very tight battle. We've seen these guys 3 wide for about now a lap and a half. Very interesting and tight battle here.
Yeah, although Iowa is short, it's very wide on the racing surface, so to see a four-wide battle, that's a very high possibility, especially whenever you've got, you know, such a split decision on what line who wants to run, as you're going to see the 78 finally leap up to that top line, giving the 50 all the room that he wants, kind of starting to leave the 3 of Dirk likes in the dust. As he makes a little bit of contact back there with the 06, but they both keep it straight.
Managed to hold on to it. He's probably playing that into strategy right now. I think we see one driver leaving the pits right now, but if you're going to be pitting soon, you might as well burn off what you got in an effort to get as much time made up as you can in order to prevent wasting any Goodyear rubber on these fine Craftsman trucks.
Absolutely, and as you saw there on screen, the 83 on the track, 40 on the board, Kyle Peacock, he did make that move around the third place position, but quickly lost it to the 50 of Marty Phillips. Marty Phillips currently sitting in third, and they are starting to slowly close that gap on Jalen as Jesse Gordon has gotten out to a commanding lead to third. He's out by over 2.5 seconds at the moment, but most importantly, he is closing that gap. It was over 3 seconds to first place for the second place car. Now down to 2.5. Slowly but surely.
I'd like to take a look back a little further into 12th, 13th, 14th. Had a little bit of a battle going here. Jacob Reeves in the 57. He was being stuck down in the bottom of 3 wide between Brent Allen and Kevin West. The 3 of them have now singled out, and it looks like Kevin West is going to pull it down pit lane.
And as you saw there on the left side of the screen on that, oh! Just saw a car get sideways. Who was that? That was the 61.
61. Another car in the wall, the 43 moments after. Jared Sensabaugh.
That is going to finally bring out another caution.
On the 35.
And carnage all over back here. The 35 of Austin Thomas. Let's take this back here. We'll get back on with the 61 of McSpeak. We'll replay this back and see exactly how this all went down. So coming around the tri-oval.
Ooh.
Let's take it back just a tad further. Let's give this time to develop here. As you see, the 3 get a little loose down there out of turn 4. So the 61 has some speed on him, a little bit of contact there, and just couldn't quite collect it. A little bit of assistance there from the 57. Got back into his rear bumper. The 43 just locks him up, barely taps the wall there. And then let's see what happens to the 35 here. He's just loose. I don't think he was braking too terribly hard. It's just it's time for tires on these trucks. I think that's really what it boils down to.
Not having that grip on these trucks in times of making split decisions like avoiding wrecks. Most of the time you'll see these drivers overcorrecting and seeing exactly what you just saw, multiple drivers around on their own pretty much. So we see drivers on pit lane right now getting the grip going here, lap 77. Closing laps here at Iowa.
Just under 50 to go here, and it's been an exciting one. You know, nothing too crazy at the moment. 4 cautions so far, 3 of those being very, very early on, and that 4th one being the last one we obviously just saw. But so far, so good for the PDI 105 here at Iowa Speedway. Jalen Handcamp, he's going to really have a wrench thrown at him here. He was out over 2 seconds on Jesse Gordon. Now, going to stack right back up with him side by side.
The one thing about these cautions here, when you have a leader pulled out to such an enormous gap, You see him praying and praying and praying for no cautions, but of course, it always comes out at some points, later, sooner or later. But as we've seen on these previous restarts, Jalen Handcamp, he's been very solid, pulling out straight away at the drop of the green flag. I have no doubt in my mind that he's going to do the same here.
Yeah, to give that driver fresh tires and obviously, you know, take that opportunity to top off on fuel as well. He should be well good to the end of this race, as that stint was the entire time. He never came down for tires. He was out there for about 76 laps on the same tires and same tank of fuel, so he's got what he needs to make it to the end of this race now. It's all going to depend on whether or not he wants to. I believe he still has one set of tires over the wall, so he does have an opportunity if he feels that he needs to freshen up. But at the same time, the next 7 drivers behind him still have the same amount of tires, so they're all going to have one more over the wall to put on that truck before the end of this race if they choose to do so. Some of these drivers through the field, they no longer have any. A couple of them making, 2, 3, some of them at 4 pit stops so far this race. So it's a matter of time. And the worst thing about short track racing for Jalen Handcamp here is cautions do breed cautions. So I would expect, there's a high possibility of seeing another one come out.
Staying with Jalen Handcamp here, it comes down to not making any mistakes. Like I mentioned previously, he's been very solid on these restarts, pulling straight away right off the rip. The second you spin your tires, the second you miss a shift, that's what's going to kill your run. That's how you're going to get swallowed up by the 10, the 83, the 50. These guys are a pack of hungry tigers, ready to pounce on you the second something happens.
Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head with that one. We are double filed up here. Pace truck will be coming off the exit of turn 4, and we will see these drivers go green one more time. So you're going to see a couple of the lap cars gaining their lap back with that wave around. We'll see exactly what they can do here once they get back to that Geico restart zone. Jalen Handcamp on the high side, and he is back to green. Another commanding jump for him. He doesn't seem to have a problem with it.
Slight stack up back in the field. Oh, one drive around 83. Oh, carnage unfolding on the back straightaway.
There it is. Well, let's take this back to the start. We'll slow it down a little bit and see exactly what happened. Go with a different camera view here. Did a little drone action, see kind of where this all happened. There's that stack up there. 13 didn't quite have a good restart. It's Brent Allen with the 83, the actual 83 of Stephen Mago behind him. Oh, it started up there a little bit further ahead. Who do we have involved in that, Matt?
Well, it appears that the 83, I believe I saw him lose it. I didn't see anyone assisting him with that, but I believe it came down to overconfidence with the fresh tires, sending it a little too hard. And as we saw with the 3, he didn't have a chance to see the person in front of him checking up. He just plowed right in the back of him. Caused the whole domino effect of drivers being tossed around on the back stretch here.
All right, yeah, there's the 83 on the track. That is Kyle Peacock, again scored as the number 40. Let's take a ride with him, and we'll see exactly what happened. We'll take this back to the start one more time. Let's get on the roof of this car. They're coming out of turn 4 here. Restart zone coming up. Little bump to the 9. There goes the 9. Loose from the 24 behind him. Just got loose. Got loose, and everybody kind of overcorrecting for that. A lot of cars collected in that one.
Plain and simple there, Logan. Just got loose.
Peacock's going to come out of it with not a whole lot of damage. He's back out on the racing surface. Didn't lose a lap or anything, so he still has a chance, but now back in 17th position. So he's got a lot of ground to make up as he's been up in the front. Pretty well top 5 the entire time tonight. A couple other cars collected in that was the 24. Your second place points of Caden Diedrich, which appears that... Yeah, there he is, coming down pit road. He's going to get some repairs done, likely. Maybe some fresh tires, we'll see. It looks like it's going to be repairs only for the 24.
Saving that set of tires, if he has them, for later if there's a late race restart. As we're looking forward to our next restart here, I want to take a look at row number 2, compiled of 2 drivers starting 30th or below. Marty Phillips and Ronnie Joyner starting 30th and 32nd respectively. Very impressive run for these 2 drivers. Staying out of the carnage that's unfolded, just like the events we just saw unfold in front of us. Good on you guys. Good on you guys.
Fantastic job by those 2 drivers. You know, like you said, starting a little bit further back than 30th out of 35 cars that started this race. Currently down to, looks like 28. Daniel Molnick's being in the 28th position. He's currently 11 laps down, but sticking it out still yet. But we'll see how the rest of this unfolds here. But it really does shake up that top 10 quite a bit. Jalen Hankamp, the only one that really kept his position. Jesse Gordon sitting in 2nd. Marty Phillips in 3rd. Ronnie Joyner 4th. Derek McMurtry in 5th. Stephen McGough makes his way up to 6th. Jacob Reeves in 7th. Jason Foskey in 8th. Ace Dillard in 9th. And Patrick McPeak makes his way up to the top 10. We'll see these trucks starting to double file back up. Lights are out on the pace truck. Will be green this time by.
Only 2 or 3 drivers, rather, that started in the top 10 are still in the top 10. 2 of those, of course, being your leader, Handcamp, and 2nd place starter, Jesse Gordon. The other being Derek McMurtry. Rest of them, in fact, it's top 15 or below, piling up your top 10. Very great runs. That just goes to show how smart you need to be to run here at Iowa.
Absolutely, and we're going to see Jalen Handcamp on the top row one more time here. Surely he'll get himself another fantastic restart out of this Geico zone, and he does. Immediately out by over a car length before they even hit turn 1. That's about 3 car lengths there on that restart for him. So we're going to see some of these drivers piling through here. Still 2x2, surely some 3x3. Little bit of wiggling going on, middle of the pack back here. Around that, I believe it's the 55 of Tristan Pena back there.
So far, everyone's staying straight.
Absolutely, as we are technically 3 wide once again.
Ooh.
Good battle back here, clean driving. That's what we like to see.
I don't know if the 37 would agree with that after his little bump in there with the 57. 2 drivers going at it right now, fighting it side by side for a top 10 position or a top 11 position. The 2 are getting swallowed up from the pack behind.
I tell you what, that 3 truck of Dirk Likes, he did not like being that far back in the pack. He's already making his way up through the field. That low line is working for him pretty well, as you saw him, you know, claiming 2 spots there in one corner. But now even with the 00 of John Briel.
That being said, we watch him
continue doing.
That being said, we watch him move. Keep in mind, we still have another 31 laps to go in this race. You got to make your calculated moves here and spending your tires wisely. Will we see the 3 be able to continue his progress forward later in this race?
It's hard to say this early, but you know, it's impressive whenever you have such an odd occurrence as the caution flag is back out. Where did this happen?
Not seeing anything right now, Logan.
Let's take a look from the blimp and see.
No.
I don't see anything too crazy out there on the field. Let's take it back a little bit and see if we can point anything out. All right, we see some of those cars back there towards the back entering turns 1 and 2. Keep an eye up here, see. Matt, there it was, there at the back of the field. Who would that have been, is the real question. Let's see if we can get out of the blimp here. That might have been the 21. Let's take it back one more time. I think the caution's already out at this point.
No idea here, Logan. No idea.
The 43, the actual
Oh.
43, Gerald Sensabaugh. Just got sideways. Nothing crazy, I barely any contact with the wall. But, then he disappears. I'm not entirely positive what happens there with him, but...
Just
we'll
having
see
a
if
little
he
bit of a
can-
rough day.
That's about all you can say there for that type of situation, as we're coming around for the start of lap 94. See what these drivers can continue to do. See if they can finish this out on a green flag run. Jalen Hankamp still in first. Jesse Gordon in second. Ronnie Joyner in third.
Let's take a look.
There's Gerald. He's back on the track.
Gerald! 2 laps down, but Gerald's still out there. He's going to be racing alongside the 21 of Tyler Willard. He himself is a lap down. We have 3 drivers in our field right now, a lap down, 1 2 lap down, and the rest are wrecked currently, or just putting along like Daniel Molnick's right now. Last car in your lead lap is actually down pit lane, second place in points, Caden Diedrich.
And I'm just looking at some of these cars with all the damage. That 35 of Austin Thomas, he's got a lot of damage here on the right side of that race truck. You can see it all scraped up. A couple dents there on the front end of that vehicle. A little bit of action there on the left rear quarter panel as well. I would say there's not a whole lot of cars on the track right now that are damage free.
However, thankfully, like you mentioned earlier, aerodynamics don't play too heavily here, but still, it's just like one of those nice things to have. A little bit of war paint going on for the 35 and a bunch of other drivers in our field. Sure as hell won't see these drivers' trucks next week at Charlotte.
And next week at Charlotte's going to be shaping up to be a big race here in terms of points. Caden Diedrich falling all the way back to 21st at the moment. We'll see if he can make his way back up, as he's currently sitting second in points. Jalen Hankamp sitting in a great position at the moment. If he can finish out where he's currently at, he's going to get a huge jump in points. We'll bring that back up on the screen here. Let everybody take a look. Caden Diedrich in second. He needs to make some ground back up. Dirk Likes also needs to make some ground back up. Daniel Molnick, he's back there in 28th position. Looks like most of the top 5 here really need to make some ground. Marty Phillips, he's currently sitting in 5th on the track, so he's not in too bad of a position. If the race ended right this second, that would put him up into second place in the points, but still quite the gap behind Jalen Hankamp. But again, we're still very early in the season, only race 4 of 14. So we are double filed back up. Jalen Hankamp taking the high line once more. Jesse Gordon on the inside.
Very excited. Rack them up, stack them up 2 by 2 once again for this restart. Who are you taking right now, Logan? Off your front row. You sticking with Handcamp, or are you thinking Gordon's gonna pull something out?
Handcamp's been way too good on these restarts to pick anybody else in the field. As he goes one more time. Not quite the jump he wanted before, but he's going to make it. About a car and a half length between himself and the 10.
Ooh. Watch out for Diederik. He's on a mission right now. He wants it. He wants it bad.
He absolutely does, and you can't blame him whatsoever, as you're going to see the 24 car there. He's... Whew, a little bit of wiggle coming across the start-finish line there from quite a few trucks, but the 24 3 wide looking to make a move on the 63 of max cost. He's going to have the high line on the 37 and the low line of the 63.
He pitted for those fresh Goodyear tires coming into play right here heavily. It's awesome to see him snake his way back up to the front here.
Absolutely.
Keep an eye on this. Move forward.
Marty Phillips losing 2 positions on that restart, back to 7th place now. He's looking to the inside of the 29 of Jason Foskey. Not going to quite have the momentum out of the corner as the 29. But as I stated before earlier in this race, that low line seems to be working pretty well whenever it comes to the grip through the corners. He does nose out ahead for a brief second. I think this time around...
Turn 3. Someone spun off the nose of Diederik.
I believe that's going to be the 3 of Dirk Likes here. We'll roll this back and take a look. Another couple cars involved. He's already spun around. We'll take it back a little bit further here.
See him stuck bottom 3 wide. Diederik just wants to make his move. He's going to split that gap.
Ah.
And wow.
The 00 comes down, pushes Diederik into the right rear quarter of the 3 of Dirk Likes. This is the 00 of John Breel here. We'll take it back again, take a look. Just see him come down just enough, and it pushes the 24 right into him. 24 slides up, he recollects it. Another incident unfolding behind him. I think there's about a total of 3 or 4 cars really involved in that one, so we'll see how it unfolds. Gonna see quite a few drivers coming down pit road here. The 24 being one of them. I apologize, not the 24. It's gonna be the 83 on the track of Kyle Peacock. Looking for some fresh tires here. A couple drivers getting fresh tires. A little bit of damage repaired, I'm sure. You're going to see Jalen Handcamp. He decided to come down. He's going to cycle back out into 14th position. So we have a new leader of Derek McMurtry up here in the 48 machine. He got around Jesse Gordon there before that caution came out. So a couple laps led for Derek McMurtry in the 48.
This is exactly what Jalen was planning for. Late race caution, saving that set of tires for later. Now, he's got a whole lot more grip to play with to squeeze through this field of drivers on used tires. He's going to have some of the best set of tires going in these final 20 some odd laps here.
The only downside for Jalen right now, he needs a green flag run. He cannot have caution after caution. It's not going to play in his favor to come down and get those fresh tires if we can't put together a green flag run.
True that, Logan, but we'll monitor his situation as the race moves on. I believe we'll be seeing one to go this time by.
Now we'll go one more time around, single file here. But let's do a quick recap. So we had 3 cautions early on in the race. We had caution number 4 about middle of the race. And then the last couple all seem to be back-to-back here. 7 cautions so far, only the 1 lead change. That was the decision of the 9 car to come down pit road, allowing the 48 to take that lead away. Other than that, Jalen Handcamp has led every single lap of this race.
Little bit of a change here. He's led how many laps? About 100-ish laps. Can we see this? I'm going to call it a pass. It's more like a strategy call. Can we see this late race pass pay off for Mr. McMurtry in that 48 truck?
You know he's hoping for it, as we're going to double file back up. McMurtry's going to go the opposite route that we saw Jalen taking on the restarts. He's going to start on the bottom, allowing the 10 of Jesse Gordon to start on the top. We've been seeing good restarts from that top line, so we'll see how it pays off for him. It's going to be an interesting restart here. Having some fresh leaders and newcomers to the top 5 once more. Got Derek McMurtry, Jesse Gordon, Trey Horton, Ronnie Joyner, and Jason Foskey in your top 5.
Keep an eye out for the 48 coming into the restart. We've seen all race long Handcamp just be able to shoot out like a bullet in the restart zone and pull away from the bunch. How is McMurtry going to deal with this new pressure he's got of the pack of Tigers behind him?
McMurtry's going to get a good jump, actually, off of that bottom line. He'll quickly make his way up to the top. He likes that middle lane. And once more, another caution.
Molnick's involved, along with John Briel on the front straightaway.
There it is. We'll roll it back here. Take a look. Coming out of turn 4, getting ready to throw that green flag. Molnick's in the 2. That Pit Viper snakeskin. Ah, big, I think a missed shift there. A couple cars collected.
I believe I saw the 55 of Pena involved as well.
Let's take her back here one more time. We got plenty of time. These caution laps are quite long. Brandon Yates just appears to miss a shift completely, and man, big hit for the 55 of Pena. He's going to have quite a bit of damage on the front right. Likely some suspension damage with that one. Let's take an onboard here with Brandon Yates. See what happened. I'll take it back another 15 seconds here. I think he just missed a shift, Matt. I think that's all it boils down to.
Taking a watch, yeah.
It was
just a little missed shift here. These are the accidents that happen that cause carnage to unfold behind. It was unfortunate for Yates to be the root of that, but
and
I believe we'll be seeing one to go here.
Collecting little to no damage on that 15 from that, as they did try to avoid him from behind, but yeah, it seemed the 15 tried to shift up into third, might have double shifted, I guess. I don't know what exactly happened. And just he was under power and then no power. Caused that stack up behind him there, but again, this is not what Jalen Handcamp wants to see. Currently sitting in 12th. He did gain 2 positions off of that restart, so he is able to make his way through, but the time is ticking down as we're going to be coming around to just 10 to go soon. The clock's ticking.
How about a quick driver interview here, Logan? See if we can radio up the 10 truck, Jesse Gordon.
Yeah, sure, bring him on up. Let's see if he has anything to say.
Jesse Gordon, do you have a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Jesse Gordon, here, 10 laps to go on this restart. How are you feeling sitting second where you've pretty much sat all day? How are you going to adjust to potentially make a move on the lead?
Get a better restart, hopefully, and try and make the outside line work. And honestly, I can't get right behind him. Otherwise, I get, arrow loose or tight. So I got to really kind of find a different line and try and make a move and maybe get side by side with him so I can make a diving entry into one of the corners.
Playing it smart here, Jesse Gordon. I know we pulled you up a little late, but we're going to let you go back. Get ready for this restart, and good luck, driver.
No worries. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Doesn't sound like a bad plan at all for the driver of that 10 there. We'll see how it pays off for him. See if he can make that move that he ever so needs, as we're going to see them back into the Geico restart zone, the 48, taking off. Derek McMurtry out in front once more. You're going to see the 24 of Ronnie Joyner. He gets to the low side of the 10, makes his move. He's now up into second. 2 by 2.
Out behind. Watch out here. The 35 is trying to make a move here. He's going to try to split the 50 and the 78-3. Almost moving down the front straightaway here. 8 more laps to go.
Tell you who I see coming up. Hayden Diedrich and Jalen Handcamp. As Diedrich, a little sideways, collects it. Oh!
Car around.
Big collision behind him here.
More unfolding behind. Oh!
Just carnage everywhere.
Whole plethora of drivers involved. Pena, I believe we saw the 33 too. The 24, of course. A lot of drivers involved. Just a big domino effect unfolding on the back straightaway.
See Jalen Handcamp make that move down low. Then you have the 01 of Kevin West. Kind of stuck in the middle. A little bit of a checkup from Handcamp. Ooh, Kevin West, big damage into the wall as he does go nose first, and he likely has no steering whatsoever at this point.
Or Kevin West, he's had a pretty rough day dealing with that nose damage pretty early on, but he's managed to hold on, and unfortunate for him, his day is looking to be coming to an end.
Lots of cars collected. Big hit for the 06 into the outside wall. The 33 tries to check up, gets back into the 55 there, but a couple drivers able to avoid it, a couple not. Just unfortunate turnarounds. Well, let's get back down to the track here as these drivers are coming down the back stretch once more. 114 of 120 almost completed.
Logan, you're going to have to tell me this. Are we working with any green-white checkers here?
We are. We do have 2 green-white checkered attempts at the end of this if they are needed. As it's going right now, we might need them. But after that, only 2. If there's any more cautions after that, that's race over. So we'll just, we'll have to sit back and see who can do what towards the end of this. This is, unfolded to be a caution fest. Not like any other race within QSR that I've ever been a part of.
Take a look at P8 right now. It's the man himself, number 9, Jalen Handcamp. Like you mentioned earlier, not having that green flag run has really killed his momentum here, but he's managed to pick up a few spots on that last restart. Hopefully he can pick up another 7, or at least he's hoping to take back that top spot, which he's held on to so dearly these majority of the race.
Absolutely. As we'll take a look back through the rest of the field here. A couple of those cars that were caught up in that. Dirk Likes in the 3. A lot of damage on the front left of that machine. Hayden Diedrich in the 24. He's got a little bit of damage, not too bad, but he is way back there in 19th position. Just a little bit of damage there on the front left. As you're going to see the 55 of Tristan Pena behind him with damage on the nose of that truck. 57 of Jacob Reeves. Damage all over the front of his truck. It's not the worst one on the field, but it's certainly not the best. The 33 up ahead of him, a lot of damage on the back end and the front. He is currently sitting in 14th position as these cars are doubled up once more. Lights are out on the pace truck. We will be going green with 5 to go.
If we've seen drivers this aggressive moving forward early on in this race, actually, I can only anticipate a lot more carnage unfolding in front of us with only 4 laps to go crossing the line on this restart.
We'll see if these drivers can hold it together as the 48 takes off as soon as he hits that Geico restart zone. 3 wide immediately. 35 on the low side.
Not the best start for Gordon. Back bumper. That 78 got a little bit of a shove from the 9, and he's going to swim his way up. 3 wide. Cautions back out. Where on track, though, further in the back appears to be Pena. Pena again. Very rough day for him.
He was just getting shoved through that entire corner by the 57, Jacob Reeves. Maybe a little bit of issue there on speed for the 55, or maybe a little bit of aggression from the 57. Not too sure, but just one car involved in that. No damage really for Tristan Pena added to that 55 machine.
Looking here, it's to use the first of our green-white checkers. Jesse Gordon, he fell back a spot. Not the best start he could have gotten. Went from 2nd to 3rd. But maybe this plays to his advantage just slightly. He can start right behind the leader, Derek McMurtry, as he's elected to take the bottom line a few times. Hopefully he can time it just perfectly and get that run going.
That's all you can really hope for in this situation. You know, just finish out the race, really. Like you said, we're going to start using our green-white checkered attempts here. As we only have 2, this will be the first one with 1 left. As you can tell, I'm very good at math, Matt.
I am also very good at math. Just anything that's not calculus. Don't ever give me calculus. McMurtry having a really good run today. I'm impressed to see the driver up towards the front. Hopefully he can hang on for 1, if not 2 more restarts here.
Absolutely, but
you
know who's lurking in that rear view mirror? The 9. He's made his way all the way back up to the 6th position now. He's cycled out from that pit stop a while back, about 20 laps ago almost. He cycled out in 14th, back up to 6th after all of these cautions. So he is making headway, at least, on these restarts, but likely not as much as he would like to.
Naturally, another driver making the good move. Number 35, Austin Thomas. Look at him, P4 right now.
Austin Thomas in the
job.
Tropicana orange juice truck. Pure premium for the 35. Got a lot of side swiping damage on the passenger side of that truck, but it has not affected him whatsoever. Like you said, a great run for him being up here in the top 5. Marty Phillips right behind him. Jalen Handcamp, Trey Horton, Patrick McPeak, Jason Foskey, Ace Dillard will round out the rest of your top 10. Lights are out on the pace truck as we're going to double file back up here and get set for our first attempt at the green-white checkers.
Very exciting restart here. Because you know the end is in sight. How aggressive do these drivers get? I'm looking at that 9 right now. He's all over that back bumper of the 35, and we're not even going green yet. He wants it. He wants it bad.
I would almost expect to see that 9 truck immediately take it 3 wide as soon as they cross that start-finish line. We're going to double file up here. Big gap between the 48 and the 35. The 24 hanging way back. Is they're going to get going green. The 48 with a good jump. The 24 falling back. Is not what he needed. The 35. He's going to be able to stay right. Oh, is the 9's going to send it 3 wide? Like I said, Jalen Handcamp up into 4th now. Looking at the low side of the 24.
Whoa!
Big move for him.
Move.
He's going to make it stick, though, with those fresher tires. Sideways for the 24 as they come out of turn 4. 2 to go.
Flag.
1 to go. Apologize. That was a late call there. They're going to get sideways behind him. The 24 completely sideways, but we'll keep our eye up here at the front as Jalen Handcamp looking on the inside. Big contact. Spun around, and we're going to have a completely... Wow.
Jesse Gordon done stole it.
Jesse Gordon able to make his way through all of the carnage on the final lap. He leads 1, but it's the most important one.
What a finish. 2 drivers side by side off of 4. Opens the door for Gordon, and he snatches it.
He absolutely does, as he's going to come down right in front of the crowd and burn it down. Great job by Jesse Gordon there to finish that race out and just snake his way through there. That's all that matters. But let's take a look at what unfolded. So we're going to come around here. It took us quite a ways back, but not far enough apparently. All right. Let's go find... No, Jalen Handcamp was involved with the 24. Big sideways for the 24. Handcamp. He's going to get into the side of the 48 as the 48 does slightly come down, sends them both up into the wall. The 35. Austin Thomas. He's going to spin around. Whoa. Big contact there across the line, and it just continued to pile in.
Getting smacked around like a ping pong ball there.
Tell you what'll be a good camera for this. Right here. See everything unfolding. Cars trying to dodge cars. Cars running into cars. It was an absolute madhouse coming across pit lane here. I'm sorry, start-finish line, not pit lane. That has my brain so twisted up that I can't even think straight. We'll take one more look at it as we're going to have cars sideways all across the track, and most importantly, that 10 car coming across the line first. But, as you'll have it, Jesse Gordon will take home first place, Trey Horton in second, and Derek McMurtry will cross the finish line, I believe, backwards on that. Let's take a look here, but he's going to take home third position after all of that. I'm curious to see exactly what happens here and how he gets across the line. Into the wall. Down into the infield and across the line doing a 360. Into the inside wall. But still with a podium.
Just a few style points there for McMurtry there, going across the line.
How about that for a finish? We'll take it. We're going to send this to a quick commercial break, and then we'll come back with some interviews for our podium finishers of Jesse Gordon, Trey Horton, and Derek McMurtry. We'll be right back on V-Speed.
say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
That way it doubles it
After
up.
quite the interesting finish here at Iowa for the PDI 105. We have everything that we could want to possibly see here. We'll take this away, slow that down just a little bit, and get rid of all the extra noise. But let's go through our results as we're going to have Jesse Gordon taking home first place. Trey Horton behind him in second. Derek McMurtry will take home third as we saw him doing a 360 across the infield. Marty Phillips will take home fourth. Ronnie Joyner in fifth. Patrick McPeak will take home sixth. Stephen McGough in seventh. Austin Thomas will take home eighth. Caden Diedrich in ninth. And John Briel will take home your last of the top 10 positions.
We look at Jason Foskey finishing right outside the top 10. Heartbreaking finish for the driver of the number 9, Jalen Handcamp. Dirk Likes battling through, finishing 13th. Jacob Reeves right behind him. Kyle Peacock in and out of incidents. Solid run today, finishing 15th. Ace Dillard, 16th. Ethan Wilinowski, he'll finish 17th. Tristan Pena, 18th as well, with Ryan Philbrick right behind. And rounding out the top 20, Christian Ruck-Regal.
Taking home the 21st position, we have Tyler Willard in the 21. Brent Allen will take home 22nd. Behind him, Max Cost in the 63. Brandon Yates will take home the 24th spot. Gerald Sensabaugh in the 25th position. Daniel Molnick's early mishap with him puts him 11 laps down, taking home the 26th position. Kevin West back there behind him, also 11 laps down in 27th. Frank Walsh, 14 down in 28th. Galen Wunsch, unable to finish the race in 29th. Carter Lenz will be behind him in 30th. And to finish this out, we'll have Quentin Stewart in the 31st position. All these cars here unable to finish the race out, unfortunately. CJ Gates back behind him. Vincent Cacciatore in 33rd. And Mike Petrin was actually not in the race. Not sure why he's up there, but he was in race control. And Kevin Haas, I don't recall seeing the 03 out there, just the 3. So those last 2 drivers not on the track. But with that being said, Matt, why don't you get with Mr. McMurtry here and see what he has to say about the end of that race.
Down here on pit lane with Mr. McMurtry.
But you're good.
McMurtry?
Yeah.
What did I say? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
Well, McMurtry. Pause. Make sure I said it right. Third place finish. A little bit of a heartbreaker there. Tell me, how did you feel coming out of 4 on that final lap?
I didn't see him anywhere, so I felt pretty good. And then I seen him come across my nose, and it didn't seem like, I was like, what the heck? You know, so. And then I seen my car flip, and I crossed the line backwards, so I seen that number go from 1 to 3, and then I wasn't very happy. But hey, it's going for the win, and there's a way to race, and there's a way not to race, and some people, and they're representing teams. That's pretty sad. You got to race like that to get a win. You could have went out there. This dude can go out there and beat me by seconds, but he can't race me clean for a win. That's sad, in my opinion. But no hard feelings. It stops at the end of this race, and it'll be a brand new day next week.
Looking for maybe a little bit more of a culture change. You saw the 9, having a blank here, sorry. Hand Camp. You saw Hand Camp. He came down pit road a little early, get some fresh tires, and that opened up the door for you to take the lead. Was there a little bit of an attitude adjustment or a change
I've seen him go down the pit. It was on. I wasn't going to give it up. I can promise you that.
Naturally. Now, question for you is how do you feel moving into next week at Charlotte?
I feel real good. I think I'm starting to get this truck a little bit. I ain't raced it in a couple of years, and they did a lot of changes to it, and starting to get it under me. That's what I need. I just need some luck. I get some pretty bad luck sometimes, but sometimes I put myself in that situation by not qualifying or having a bad qualifying run. So we just got to get that qualifying together, and you'll be seeing more of this duck truck.
Well, before we let you go, is there anyone you'd like to shout out for your podium finish here tonight?
Oh, yeah, man. I got to shout out everybody in Venom. Ronnie and Mall Nuts and Jake and Frank and G Cincy. I'm sure there's people in there I'm missing, but there's a lot of us, and I appreciate all their help, and I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for them and the help that they've given me to get here. So everything to them. And for this league, man, QSR, they've done great. They brought us all in here, and we've had a great time, and it's been early, and we've had wrecks and stuff like that happen, but I promise you that'll get cleaned up. We won't deal with that around here.
To tag on with that, Derek, I kind of made the same mention earlier. It's unlike QSR to see that many cautions, but it is short track racing, so hopefully it gets cleaned up going into Charlotte, like you said, and we'll see what you can do out there, buddy.
Yep. All right, man. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks.
That was Derek McMurtry in the 48, finishing out in third position. We cannot find Trey Horton in the Discord channel to bring him up here for his second place finish, but we'll still talk about him just briefly here. Trey, unfortunately, with all of my internet issues, could not get the right statistics up. Matt, you have where Trey started this race.
Trey started in the 13th position.
Made his way up quite a bit there, and obviously held on there towards the very end and made his way through all the hectic carnage that it was on the final lap. But props to him. Trey Horton, good job tonight, and we will see you next week at Charlotte. But now we will move on to our race winner, Jesse Gordon, able to just work his way through everything that he needed to. And, it was an impressive move there. Lucky mixed with skill, we'll say. But Jesse Gordon, you got Logan and Matt up here in the booth. You got a copy, buddy.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Going great, man. Well, first off, congratulations. Well done. You led one lap, but it was the most important one. How are you feeling after that?
Yeah, that was rough. I could not get good restarts. The bottom line, they seemed like they were working up. They would fire off together, and they'd like hook bumpers, and then I couldn't get a good push or anything. So I got shuffled back to second row, and then from there it just snowballed. But yeah, no, it was crazy last green white checkered there, and yeah, I was content with just probably finishing third, and then I saw the 9 was really pushing the I think it was the 48 up the track there off of 4, and I was like, oh, they're not going to make this corner. So I started to kind of back off and turn down the hill, and they hit the wall, and I was able to split them basically, and luckily avoided the wreck.
That was a fantastic awareness coming out of turn 4 for that moment. So, You know, it's all about keeping your eyes up on these short tracks, and you did a great job of doing so tonight. And, you know, you made your way through the field pretty well. You held your position up here at the front pretty well the entire race, kind of running in that top 5 area the whole time. And again, just the one lap led. Was that partial strategy, or what was kind of your thought process throughout the entire race?
Oh no, I made some serious mistake on lap 1 off of turn 2. The truck just snapped loose on me. I was behind first and second there, and I don't know what happened, but it just snapped loose and I couldn't save it. Collected some guys, and I felt really, really bad about that. I was like, oh man, you know, for their race and their sake also. So, yeah, fought my way back, fixed the damage. We were 30th and battled through the whole field basically, and I just tried to conserve my tires while trying to make smart passes, and was able to work my way back up. But yeah, that was crazy, and was definitely not part of my strategy. It was I handicapped myself pretty good there, so I was lucky to just be in the top 5.
Instead of just a top 5, you came away with a race win in the 4th race of this season. The PDI 105 goes home to Jesse Gordon, and Jesse is, to my knowledge, I believe QSR has started doing trophies for race winners this season.
Wow. Yeah. I saw him. I saw Quentin post that, and it's a pretty cool thing. I definitely, look forward to seeing what they got. And yeah, I mean, I don't expect anything, but that's awesome for them to do and support us racers that are out here and doing this. So yeah, it's a blast to run with these guys, and hopefully I'll have a better outing next time and not make some mistakes and take some people out with me. So.
Well, you did a great job again. And, well, Jesse, before you go, buddy, anybody you'd like to say thanks to?
Yeah, thank you. Obviously QSR, everybody, all the admins that put that on, and Quentin, of course, and then you guys for broadcasting this and making such an awesome broadcast and being able to watch it online. And of course, my sponsors, Pink Cheeks Tanning Salon, Amsoil, Caritas Tires, Davis Trenching, United Window Tint, Empire Motorsports, and my team, HBM Motorsports.
Awesome. Well, Jesse, again, fantastic race tonight. Race winner here at Iowa. 1 lap led, the most important one. Gets him the win tonight, and we will see you next week into Charlotte.
Yeah, thank you. Looking forward to it.
Well, with that being said, that concludes our post-race interviews. Matt, do you have any final thoughts here to kind of end off the night?
Wow. That's all I have to say is wow. I'm still in awe about that finish. Truly an awesome race. I've had a lot of fun being in the booth here tonight. Great race to watch, fun to commentate over, and it was nice working with you, Logan.
Likewise, sir. And again, Morgan Cook, I believe, will be back next week as your regular host for the QSR Tuesday Night Thunder Truck Series. Tonight, again, brought to you by Performance Diesel Injection. Do not forget to go visit their website and see what all they have for your diesel vehicles. They can get you hooked up with pretty well anything, it sounds like. So visit them, see what they've got. But that concludes our broadcast coverage of the PDI 105 at Iowa for the QSR Tuesday Night Thunder. Thank you all for joining and, of course, bearing with me through all the technical difficulties. I will certainly be putting in a lot of work to get that figured out before the next time I'm up here in this position. But again, everybody from V-Speed, thank you and good night.